Welcome back, besties. We are here for episode 2 where we are talking about can this love be translated? And first of all, let me start off with an apology. I was so excited the first episode that I completely botched and screwed the name of the show. I went back to listen and I said, oh my God, girl, get it together. But here we are. This is our episode 2 of the recap. Can this love be translated? Once again, I am going to tell you, please, 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 please watch this show. I can't even begin to do a justice of this cinematographic cinema. The pure cinema that this show is giving me. And it's just like it's genuinely, it's truly an experience. Like the layers, the foreshadowing. It's beautiful. So watch it, but also listen to me, girl, because I'm going to break it down for you real easy, real good, okay? So let's just jump right back in. Where we last left off is we saw our girl, Mu-hee, and she about fainted on the red carpet, and this beautiful, daring, dashing young man caught her and told her, Mu-hee, wake up. We remember that, right? Yeah, we do. Okay. So let's take it just a little bit back. All right. This is right before he, makes his grand entrance and his grand walk on the red carpet to catch our girl. He is in the limo, and by he, we are going to call him the Prince of Romance because he is the Prince of Romance of Japan. He is a very well known actor, and he's on this reality show where he's looking to find love and stuff like that, right? So he's in his limo getting ready to make his grand entrance on the red carpet, and he looks out of his window and he sees our girl and he said, who's that? Who's that? And his assistant is like, oh, the girl, the zombie girl, Dorami from the movie that you just watched, like in your Netflix watch history, and the same girl you just looked up on the internet trying to find out more about her. Yeah, that girl you pretending you don't know, that's her on the red carpet. Why? What's up? And he's like, oh, I mean, yeah, okay, so you're right. You're right. I do know what's up, but hold on. She's looking a little, ugh. She's looking a little pale, like a little faint. Do you think she's okay? And so his other assistant, they're looking out the window. And she's like, no, honest, she does not look good. She don't look good at all. And really, truthfully, if she faints on this red carpet, that's it. That's going to be the talk of the red carpet. Like, shut it down. Anything that happens after that doesn't even matter. And he's like, excuse me? Excuse me? Everything after that doesn't matter? It doesn't matter? I just got this suit flown in from Italy. I had to wait 3 months for it, perfectly tailored to my cute slim bod. Okay, my hair, my blowout, it's on point. I got my little pin clips in to hold it together. And you mean to tell me if this girl passes out, I don't even get my time to shine? Ain't nobody even gonna see my good suit? Can't let that happen. So he popped them pins out and he down the I was gonna say down the runway, down the red carpet, and he's going, and the cameras are going right, and then that's where he catches her and stuff, and it's like this beautiful moment. It's such a beautiful moment, and so everybody's watching this moment, and you got people that are there, but then you also got people like it's like Grammys or whatever. Like people are live streaming trying to see what's happening on the red carpet. And guess who else is watching this from live stream? The producers of the reality show. And it just so happens that they are still looking for their female lead to play the love interest for the Prince of Romance. And they go, just what if we decide to get what I mean? I mean, she's a world favorite right now. Everybody loves her. Their personalities are just like, so different. But I think it'll make a good watch. How about we get her on? And I'm going to leave it at that right there for now, okay? Now, back at the hotel, remember where we left off? Our girl, she was outside of his room door. Yeah, she was outside of his room door. And she was waiting on him. They meet eye to eye. He's, eye level. And he's like, what are you doing here? How'd you know I was here? Hello? And she tells him, my manager told me that he ran into you. Well, not that he ran into you, but he saw you while he was going to the elevator. And so we just assumed that you were staying here as well. And honestly, I need a little help. Now, this is a big move for our girl. Why, you may ask? Remember when she met with the interpreter and he was like, hey, you know what? I want you to take that photo of me down off of your page. Remember that? Guys. So what I failed to mention was that they actually met at his house. And after he asked her to take down the photo, she kind of, in her own cutesy little way, confessed her love for him, right? Like that, she's interested in him and that, like, perhaps he too would be interested in her. And that, maybe to go on a date, a cute little date together. Him being the guy that he is, and as we know him, he's pretty straightforward. He doesn't leave room for error. He told her, yeah, that's not going to happen, big dog. No, that will actually never happen. No. And so our girl was like, okay, dang, I'm getting stuck, y'all. Hold on. And so our girl was like, okay, cool. So for her to even be at his door, you have to understand that this is a dire situation. Because ain't no way in the world, me personally, I, kind of tell you how I feel and I got feelings for you. You tell me no. I'm not finna be at your door. No mo. Okay? So this is huge. This is big. Ego aside. She's like, listen, I need help. I'm just a little anxious. I'm a little on edge. I'd like to see a doctor so they can prescribe me some sedatives so I can go to this event tonight. And then I can just, get some rest. And so the interpreter, he that guy for real, So he got connects all through the city. Keep him out. We're in Japan. So she needs his help because she needs an interpreter. Okay? And he got connects all through the city. So he said, all right, let me come up with you. He didn't say that, but that's basically what happened. And his boy is a psychiatrist, agrees to meet them late at night. And this is when we learn more about our girl Chamui's backstory, childhood, and just, the things that shape her into the person that she is right now and the challenges and the struggles that she's facing. So, like any appointment with a doctor, he wants to know what brings her in. And this is when we learn this is not the first time that Chamui has seen Dorami since the accident. So all that time when she was going on those press runs and she was in those dressing rooms and she was on the plane and she was traveling, in all of those spaces, Dorami was there. Not only just looking at her and watching her, but she was basically just taunting her and mocking her and laughing at her. And it's got our girl to the point where she is just pent up, high strung. And now she feels like she can't even go or move or be in the public eye without Dorami showing up. Now, this is something, like, to me, as a viewer, I feel like this is a almost physical, like mental kind of manifestation of like fear and anxiety. But who honestly knows? Like, our girl literally was in a traumatic accident, so she really could have some stuff going on. We just don't know, okay? But the psychiatrist goes on to ask her, does your family, do you have any mental illness, like, within your family, like mom, dad, anything like that, anything recorded? And so she shares that when she was younger, she was like about 7 years old, she was in a very, very traumatic accident. So traumatic that she doesn't remember anything about it. But what she does know, As a result of that accident, she lost both her mother and her father, which then led her to have to live with her uncle, right? She doesn't know anything about the mental health history on her mom's side because everybody blamed her mom for the accident, so nobody spoke to her. So there could be, there couldn't be. She just doesn't know, right? So we've got these things in play. Our girl is anxious. She's a little bit high strung. She's got some family issues that started at a very, very young age, right? And so it's just like, our girl needs a break and she's not getting it. She's just not getting it. So the psychiatrist hears all of this and he decides, okay, I'm just going to give you some sedatives to, just kind of help you calm down a bit, take the edge off, allow you to get some rest at night. Cool. That's all she wanted anyways. They leave. Her man is not her man, aka the interpreter. He buys her a little bevy so she can, take her little sedative. And he goes, hey, make sure you don't drink tonight. And she's like, I don't need your advice, brother. And he's like, that's not my really advice, but like, whatever, I just want you to be safe. And so she was like, okay, cool. Thank you so much for your assistance in this matter. However, I will never be able to repay you. Actually, I'm not going to repay you because I never want to see you again. I absolutely never want to see you again. Which, girl, understandable. Her reasoning, simply, you know too much about me, okay? You know too much about my past. You know too much about the current struggles that I have. And you know the fact that I just kind of put myself out there to you. Like, there's too many facets of my life that you now know that can't, bro, my hair is everywhere, y'all. There's too many facets of my life that you now know that I can't just go on and pretend like that it's nothing when I'm in front of you. So, no, I never want to see you again. Thank you for this. Best of luck. See ya never. And him being the guy that he is, he was like, okay, understandable. Oh, he's so understanding, but like still, oh. He was like, okay, yeah, cool. Understanding. We will never see each other again. We've watched K-dramas before. We know that is a bold-faced lie. That is a lie. So after she's like, I never want to see you again, her manager arrives, picks her up to take her to the next event. She gets into the event, and of course, everybody's so happy that she's there. Everybody's like, trying to get pictures with her, selfies, autograph, talk to her, all that good stuff. And there's still some language barrier stuff happening. Like, there's people from all over, but they know who she is. And so, super exciting. Our girl steps out to take a little breather. Just, it's been a long day for her. Like, you wake up and it's like, okay, I'm going to a red carpet event. I'm the star. Which now turns to, I'm going to a red carpet event. Then I'm seeing a psychiatrist and talking about my past. And then we're going to go to another event. No, that's a long day. So she steps outside. She gets a little breather. And she's kind of looking out. And then she looks over to her left. And there's this guy staring at her. And she's like, okay, why is this guy staring at me? Girl, and you already know the guy. It's the Prince of Romance, girl. It is the Prince of Romance. And he's looking at her, and he's like, hello? I literally caught her in my arms. She not gonna say nothing to me? Hello? And so they're like kind of catching each other's eyes, and neither of them is just not adding up. She like, why this dude staring at me? He like, hello, can a brother get a little recognition, please? Right? Now our girl, obviously, like I said, long day. So, we got to give her the benefit of the doubt. She don't remember what she saw when she opened her eyes after she fainted and Dorami was in her face. Okay? She don't know who that man is. Like, we're in Japan. She don't know all the actors here, okay? But our girl, she's still that girl, okay? She's still that girl. So she walks over to him. He has his phone in his hand. He's getting a little startled. He's like, what? Approaching me? She walks over to him, grabs his phone from his hand, right? And pulls it up and like starts taking little selfies with him and stuff. And I was like, geez, selfie, you know, oh, so cute, so cute. And then she's like, alrighty, thank you so much. Arigato, thank you. And she walks off. And he's like, do she think I'm a fan? Do she think I'm one of her little fans? One of her little fangirls? Baby, I'm a star. I'm an actor. What do you mean? Thank you so much. Baby, you should be thanking me. You should be thanking me, not only because I saved you from fainting on the red carpet, but also I'm a big time star. You should be thankful for my presence. So the man, he was outdone. Flabbers were gasted, okay? Needless to say, even though I said it all, needless to say, he was flabbergasted. So that was the end of that night, right? And now we move into the next day. Everybody's gone their separate ways. So now we transition into a new day, right? We see the interpreter, and he's sitting down to have a meeting with the producers. Which producers, you say? The producers for the reality romance show. And they are desperately begging him to be an interpreter for the show, right? They're just trying to bridge love and travel and all these beautiful things. And they really need an interpreter. Filming is supposed to start next month. They're locking down their female lead. Just think about it. You know, we would really, really, really love to have you here. And he's listening and he's hearing them out. And they're just like, we've heard about how well you work and how great of an interpreter you are. And you come highly recommended by Shinji Soon. And I know what you're thinking. Kayla, who is Shinji Soon? Don't worry, I'ma tell you. Shinji Soon is the girl that got away. Yes, the girl that he had met on Jeju Island. The girl that had her. Highly recommended by her. And so he's just like, okay. And basically, right? And the producers are like, we were thinking that we could all meet over lunch and just like, really discuss the details of this job and, perhaps the contract and like blah, 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 blah. And he's like, respectfully, I decline. I don't want to take this gig, but I really appreciate you thinking of me and reaching out to me. Lunch won't be necessary. And he leaves before the girl that got away couldn't even come down and see him, and they could all, meet for lunch. So he leaves before they can even cross paths. And so when she comes down, she sits down at the table with the producers, and they're like, I get it. We are contacting him like super last minute. We really wanted him, but we understand, but like, this sucks. We're back to the drawing board and we really, really need a capable interpreter. But like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? But also, Shinji Soon, aren't you dating his brother? Maybe you can get his brother to talk to him and convince him to do the job. Make him, get him here, do the job, do the interpreting. And then this is where we, as a viewer, go, stop the presses. Stop the presses. What do you mean, his brother? His brother? No, his brother. Oh my gosh. So, if we put our storyline back together really fast, he met the girl on the island. Girl got away. Talismans. Reconnect. They come back on the island. Same day. He tries to catch up with her. Comes out of the train station. I just got a G. Comes out of the train station. he sees her goes into the arms of another man, a man of which he knows, who we assume to be his friend, which we now know is his older brother. Girl, let's continue with the story. So, the girl that got away, Shinji-sun, I don't even know if I want to keep her as the girl that got away because now it's just feeling a little trifling. But anyways, the girl that got away, she's like, yeah, maybe I could. I'll see. She'll, I'll put a little word in his ear. She does. The two brothers meet. They meet at the bookstore, and let me tell you, girl, these two brothers couldn't be more polar opposite. The interpreter, super like professional, together, organized, don't play, precise. His brother, cutesy boy, loves his fashion, very outgoing, carefree, and if we're being honest, selfish. So they meet, they hang out, they go and they get some dinner, they get some drinks, and they're chatting it up. So his brother goes, hey, I'm getting married next month. And the interpreter is like, excuse me? You're getting married next month? What are you talking about right now? And his brother's like, yeah, I'm getting married next month. Shinji-sun's been asking me, and we keep arguing and going back and forth about it. And I'm tired of going back and forth with her about this and about marriage. So you know what? Let's just get married. We're going to get married, and it's going to be next month. Congratulate me. Aren't you going to congratulate me? And the interpreter's like, does Shinji-sun even know? Does she even know that she's getting married next month? And he was like, no, but this is what she wants. She said she wants to get married, so we're going to get married. We're going to get married next month. Congratulate me. And his brother's like, I'm not congratulating this. She don't even know for real. I don't want no parts in this. None whatsoever. And so they're kind of like going back and forth. They're doing the whole brother thing, and the night's starting to slip away from them. The drinks are slipping away. His older brother's getting, a little bit intoxicated. So it's time to call it a night, basically. And so they leave, and the interpreter's like, yo, bro, I can call you a cab or something. He's like, nah, my girl coming. She gonna pick me up. And then she pull up in the whip. He run to the car, get in, because the boy's loosey-goosey. And Shinji-sun, the one that got away, she uses this as a last effort to just see maybe he'd reconsider and do the job. Because it's not like the brother was actually there on the right mission, right? He was just being himself and didn't care. It was about him. So, she was like, I know you had the meeting today, but I just want to ask you one last time. Just, give it our best effort. Are you sure that you're not interested? I mean, they're really desperate to have someone to be a good interpreter, especially someone like you with your credentials. And, they have to start, shooting within the month. Are you sure you don't want to do it? Now, keep in mind, Shinji-sun does not know that she's getting married next month. And he gets this bright idea. You already know what the idea is because I was thinking it too. He gets this bright idea. If I take this job, it's not like I ever technically knew about their wedding. It wasn't announced. Therefore, too, I can skip the wedding altogether and not even have to bear witness to this madness. So he goes, you know what? I've reconsidered. I'll take the job. So he takes the job. Yes. All right. So then the next day he meets with the producers again, and they are so freaking thankful. They're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much. We know this is super last minute. You didn't have to do this, but you did. And we love you. We love you so much. Thank you so much. Actually, this is perfect timing because we are interviewing what we believe will be, who we believe will be our female lead. And he goes, okay, great. And this is the person that you'll be interpreting for, in this show if we decide to go through with her. And he's like, okay, great. And they're like, oh, you know what? Actually, here she comes right now. Wind blowing, heels clacking, coming down the steps is our beautiful Dorami. And the look in his face, he didn't say a thing, but his face said, oh, brother. They come down the steps, her and her manager, and they go to meet the producers, and they're like, hi, so great to meet you, like, blah, 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 blah. And then boom. She's face to face with the interpreter again, and they are both too stunned to speak. Too stunned. And so the producers are like, all right, this way, let's go to set. We'll set up for the interview. Blah, 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 blah. When they go, like, to start setting up for the interview, the interpreter tries to pull her to the side to, like, kind of ask how she's been doing. And, I guess the elephant in the room. And she's like, no. Our girl is a lady of her word. She's loyal to her word. She said, I don't want to see you anymore. You think she finna get on this set for her potential new job and talk personal with you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So she is like, no, not here, not now, perhaps later. Okay, so they get all set up for the interview. She sits down in the little chair and they ask her the first question. The question is something to the effect of, do you like to travel, or what do you love about traveling, or, do you enjoy traveling, right? Soon as our girl opens her mouth to speak, guess who's there? Dorami is there behind that camera looking at her, and there's like loud noises happening on set, and it's just like startling her. And once again, our girl is on edge, and she is struggling to perform. She's struggling just to show up as herself for herself. And so they keep asking her the same question again, and she is just like struggling to put her words together, incoherent sentences, and she's just stumbling and mumbling. And quite frankly, it is a painful watch. It is so painful. And I know it's painful for my girl because from one anxiety girly to the other, I know pain. I know pain. So it's painful for her. It's painful for them to watch. So the producers are just like, how about we take a break? Yeah, let's take a break. And her girl, she's just so beat up about it because she's like, that stank bad. Like, I wish I did better. Like, I couldn't even, like, my thoughts and everything. Like, I just couldn't control them. And she's like sitting to the side to herself. And she's like, I know those producers don't like me. They're going to cut me. And we overhear them talking about, maybe we made the wrong decision. Maybe this was the wrong call. Maybe we should keep looking for our girl. And it's just like, no, please give her a chance. Give her a chance. She's going through a lot. Why y'all being hard on my girl? She literally fell from the roof of a building. Please give her a chance, right? So she steps outside and she re-picks up that chat that she was having with the interpreter. Okay? So let's buckle up. You know how he get. So the interpreter starts and he's just like, so how have you been feeling? How are you doing? Have you been able to follow up with the doctor since, the last little thing we had going on? And our girl, once again, she is about her business and she lays down law, loyal to her word, loyal to herself, kind of. Actually, let's not even go as far to say that, but she is loyal to her word. So our girl lays down law and she said, remember that time when I had said I don't want to see you ever again? Oh, I meant that. And I'm standing on that. So drop the gig. Drop the gig ASAP. I don't want to see you here. And Sergio co-signed it. Yeah. Yeah. Tell him, Big Serge. All right. Well, this is embarrassing. And so she's saying all that. She's talking big business. And the interpreter's like, well, Shadi, whoa. Let me remind you, you're the one who even brought me into this conversation. And now I know all this information. And yes, I am going to be concerned. Yes, I am going to be worried because you brought me into it. I need to know that you're okay. He her man, that's not her man for real. So I get it. But he like, yeah. So excuse me for Karen, but when you give me some answers, then I'll drop the gig. Cool? Okay, fine. When I got back to Korea, I saw doctors. I saw a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist told me to see a neurologist. The neurologist said, we can't find anything wrong. And quite frankly, I don't think that modern medicine is available to even help you chase off this Dorami character. But what I can recommend is that you continue seeing your psychiatrist. She's like, oh, great, big whoop. So that wasn't even helpful. And then I even tried to go see a freaking shaman. And the shaman was like, I can't help you because this is a hallucination, not a spirit. So what I'm going to do? Okay? I have gone to everybody I could think of to see. And they told me, I don't know. So yes, here I am. I tried to help. I tried to get the help. But nobody can help me. Now drop the freaking gig and leave and get out of my freaking face. Period. Like, and see this part right here is where I personally feel like you starting to bug a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let me just tell you what he said. And then you, as the listener, can decide if he was bugging. So he hears all that and he goes, okay, but like, honestly, do you think you can continue on like this? Like, be for real. And our girl, she gets a little defensive, as she should, because who he think he is? How dare a man try to tell her how to move and feel? And she goes, what do you mean? What are you going to do? Huh? What are you going to do? Are you going to go tell them? You're going to tell them about everything that I'm going through right now? You're going to tell them that I'm seeing hallucinating, that I'm seeing Dorami? Like, you're going to tell them and then have them take me off the show? Is that what you're going to do? Is that how you're going to threaten me? I'm trying to do the best that I can. How dare you? How dare you? And then he goes, no. I'm not going to say anything because you're going to inevitably end up doing that to yourself. Pause. How dare a man try to call me out on my self-destructive behaviors? How dare you? How dare you? You're not even my man for real. You're my man. That's not my man. How dare you? You keep that little cute mouth shut. Zip it. Lock it. Throw away the key. Shut. You know he didn't keep his mouth shut. You know it. And he had to keep going. Like, he had to keep going. So then he goes, the director's note says, it was something like the joy of travel, the thrill of romance. And when I look at you, I don't see joy. I don't see thrill. I don't see romance. And quite frankly, you look uneasy. And just looking at you, I feel uneasy. Where does he get off at? Hello? Who do you think you're talking to? So no, I don't have to say anything. I don't have to say anything at all. It's written all over you. And it's like, okay, sure. I'm a little sad. I'm a little espresso, okay? Maybe they couldn't see it. Maybe you just know me too well and they couldn't see it. So how dare you? How stinking dare you? And so after he does his little 1-2, he gonna walk off like he really did something. No. Our girl's gonna get the last word, okay? And so She was like, okay, but won't you feel bad? Won't you feel bad for leaving this project, just dropping it out the blue? Won't you feel bad? Won't you feel guilty? Won't you feel like you let Shin Ji-soon down? Yeah, yeah. I heard she recommended you for this. Yeah. Ain't you gonna feel bad? And so he's like, yeah, actually, I am. I am gonna feel bad because she's getting married to my brother. And taking this job was my way of being as far away from that as possible. I did not want to be a witness to that. But now I no longer have this job and I can't escape because of a crazy person. So yes, I feel bad. And then he leaves. Screw him. I mean, no, but So now our girl is feeling even more perplexed than when she started the conversation, because she's like, once again, this is my fault. Yeah, another thing today is my fault. Ugh. So the interpreter walks away. He's getting ready to leave to go tell the producers, like, hey, I'm not doing this gig no more. So sorry for the last minute. Sorry for getting your hopes up, but I'm not staying. I can't be here. And then as he's on his way to do that, he runs into our girl's manager. And the manager is like, yo, bro. I'm kind of nervous. Normally about this time, this is when producers are giving us the contracts to look over. They haven't given me anything. They haven't said anything. I'm scared they might not be signing our girl. What should I do? Can you help? And he is like, nah. I'm dropping the job. I'm dropping the gig. And the manager's like, yeah, solidarity, my brother. If y'all don't get y'all Mu-hee, y'all don't get the interpreter either. We work together. We as a unit. And he was like, no. I am simply just not doing this job because I no longer want to do this job. He's like, right. Cause our girl, yeah, solidarity, together. And he's like, before he can even like clarify anymore, they then run into the producers, and the producers are like, oh, once again, perfect timing. Let's go out for a little lunch across the street. Let's have a little talkie-walkie. We can discuss, the details and the itinerary for the trip and like the shoots, like da-da-da-da. Keep in mind, they're talking to the interpreter. Her manager, yes, you're right. Let us all go to lunch and talk about the details. So they leave. And then we see our girl Cha Mu-hee. She's they had met outside, so she's like coming back inside, and she's just like moseying around the building. And it's like, you know that feeling like when you have just like really experienced something like big emotionally, and you just don't even know what to do with yourself anymore. So you just kind of like mosey around, and you just kind of like, you're just like, that was our girl. And so she's like, all right, well, I might as well, head back down or whatever. So she calls the elevator. Do you know where this is going? She calls the elevator. Elevator doors open, and Dorami is in the elevator. Please, for the love of God, give our girl a break. Please. So she's freaking out all over again. Like, this day just does not end. And she's like freaking out. She's twiddling her fingers. She's twiddling on her clothes. She's like, the girl's stressed and anxious. Like, it's all over her, okay? And so now this is the first time that Dorami actually speaks to Cha Mu-hee. This is scary stuff, bro. So she's like, come on, we might as well ride down together. And Cha Mu-hee's like, and she's like, come on, just get in. And so Cha Mu-hee's like, you know what? I'm a big girl. Yeah. I'm going to get in this elevator, and I'm going to give her the win too. I'm going to let her know about herself, and she going to never bother me no more. Soon as our girl gets in the elevator, Dorami starts antagonizing her. I'm talking all up in her face. She's all up in her face talking about some, How sad, so pathetic. You embarrassed yourself in front of the guy that you like. How does that feel? Oh, so pathetic. You are just like, yuck, right? So she's just saying all these degrading things to her. And our girl Chamui, she thought she could handle it. She thought she can get in there and, like, stand her ground. She was not ready for that. And let me tell you, neither was I, because that baby was all up in our girl face, okay? And so Chamui was like, you know what? No. Can't take this. Covers her ears, closes her eyes, la 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 la. But that's not what she actually does. She's genuinely screaming. She's screaming. She's like, shut up, get away from me, you crazy bee, get away. To the point where our girl's down in the fetal on the floor, eyes closed, ears covered, screaming, I'm not gonna scream in the mic. I love you, I care about you. I don't want to damage your ears. Come on. She's screaming. Elevator doors open up. The producers are standing in front of the door. They had also called the elevator. And they heard everything. The screaming, the yelling, all of that. And obviously, they don't see anybody in the elevator because it's just Chamui. There's no Dorami antagonizing her. No, there's just some deranged actress in an elevator in fetal screaming. Not a good look. Very embarrassing. So she stands up. She looks around and she's trying to gather herself again. Open up, the producers are there. And thus begins our Chamui crash out. Crash out, Mu-hee, girl. Crash out, Mu-hee. Oh, my bum's starting to hurt. We gotta wrap this story up. And she comes out the elevator and she's getting all up in the producer's face. Now she's starting to embody a little bit of that energy that Dorami was giving her, but in real life. And so she's all up in their face and she goes, oh, I scared you, didn't I? Oh, I'm so sorry about that. But let's be honest here. Let's talk. I know you don't like me. I know you don't even want to keep me for this role. Just say it. Just say it to my face. I overheard you. You were talking about me. You don't want me in this role. Just go ahead and let me down. I promise. I won't be bitter. I won't get revenge on you. It's not like I'm Dorami or anything. That's just a character. I would never try to get revenge on you. And the girl's getting hysterical. I'm not gonna lie. Like, she's leaning into it. She's on their face. The producer like, they're freaking out. And while she's really leaning into this crash out, she looks over to her left, and girl, not only is it her man that's not her man, but her manager is also right there, seeing the whole thing play out. Yeah, we hate when men are right. And in this moment, it feels like she has proven her man that's not her man right. She did the inevitable. And, we're not even going to say it. You put the two and the two together because, yeah. So her manager calls the elevator. They go down and she just kind of like sulks because, yeah, she's convinced. She's like, they're not giving me this job. I just threw it away, tied it up in a bow. I'm not getting this job. And that's just that. And I live my side life, right? So everybody goes their separate ways. We now are on a new day. We see the interpreter. We see him in the library with his granddad. And I don't know if you remember, but way back early in the first episode, we saw the interpreter interpret for this well-known author in Japan, blah, 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 blah. The well-known author is his granddad. So his granddad is there at the house, and they come across this family photo of the interpreter, his mom, his dad, and his brother. And they're like, oh, looky here. So cute. Granddad's like, y'all know y'all show this something else, okay? I don't know no family who has a husband and has another child with another woman, And y'all all posed up in a family photo. Real American. That's real American. And so this is where we learn that, okay, that's his half brother. And the interpreter goes, you know what's even funnier about this photo? My brother's mama's the one that took this picture. And he's like, golly, man, y'all do stuff different. I tell you what, y'all do stuff different. And so we're now getting this understanding that the interpreter has a very close relationship with his granddad, probably the closest relationship we've seen in the entire show. Like, this is someone that he genuinely values and trusts. So he asks him, yo, can I ask you a question? I don't know why I said that. Granddad, do you think that I'm a mean person? And Granddad don't waste no time. He's like, yes. Your words are precise and blunt and mean, if we being honest. Even though your words may be true, that don't make them nice. Just because they're a fact, that doesn't make them, caring, understanding. They can be right and be mean. And so the interpreter's taking it in. He's like, okay. You got me there. Granddad's like, as many people as there are in the world, that's how many languages that there are. And the ability to understand every person is a job. It is something that we have to work towards. And that when we hit those misunderstandings with one another, those are just misinterpretations of our words. And we have to work to understand each other better. Okay? And I'm like, okay, Granddad. You spitting for real. And we see the interpreter kind of really think on and reflect and really take in the words that Granddad said. And I don't know who called this little meeting, but him, the interpreter, and Chamui meet over a little cheese, a little wine, and they kind of do their own version of apologies. They're not really like a, oh, I'm so sorry kind of thing. It's like my behavior was inappropriate. Doesn't change the situation. However, I am apologetic of my behavior. Kind of apology, right? And it makes sense. They don't necessarily completely owe each other anything, but the fact that they're respectful in that sense of like, yo, I was tripping, my bad, right? And so now they're back on terms of speaking on more of a friend level again. So after their little cheese and wine, they go on a little walkie and they're just kind of talking. And Chamui goes, listen, don't not take this job because of me. I really think that you should take this job. It'll be great. You get the opportunity to travel. The itinerary seems fun. You get to see the northern lights. It's going to be so beautiful. And plus, if we're being honest, they not giving me this job. You saw the way I acted. Why would they give me this job? And he's thinking it over. He's like, yeah. You're actually right. You kind of spitting here. And she's like, yeah, no, you shouldn't be here for that wedding. Just no, take this opportunity and go, okay? I think this is a really great thing and you shouldn't second guess this, And so they're kind of just walking and stuff. And then our girl gets a call. She gets a call. Guess who it is? You know who it is. It's the producers. The producers gave her that call back and they were like, we would love to have you on this show. And just from a reality show perspective, as if I've ever been on one, but as an avid viewer, if you ain't got no little crash out, did you make a show for real? The girl's behavior is clearly unpredictable. You need her on this show. You need to give that people something to talk about, right? So, yes, they call her. They're like, we're sending the contract over. Can't wait to start shooting soon. She gets on the phone. She turns to him and she goes, well, okay. So, they just offered me the position to do the reality shoot for the show. And we're back to square one again. We are back to square one. And so the interpreter is like, well, do you still think that this is good for you? Do you think that you'll be able to continue on in the way that you're continuing? Is this safe for your mental health is basically what he's asking. And our girl goes, well, I don't know. But you know what I do know? What I do know is that maybe, just maybe, if I had someone there who knows my whole situation and can help keep me and Dorami calm, and so I don't go too far over the edge, I think that'd be really helpful. I think this is a win-win situation for the both of us. If you're there, you help keep me in check, and you get to be away from the wedding. What do you say? Let's make a promise. I'll promise to take the gig only if you decide to be the interpreter. Deal? You guys, they made a deal. They both decided that they're going to travel and they're going to be on this shoot. This is the perfect idea, right? This is just an idea set up for success, right? Finally, they're going to be together and right? This is perfect. This is perfect. Great. This is perfect. Well, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. So next episode, we're going to be in Canada. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. See you next week.